Welcome. My name is Peter MacDonald Eggers. I'm a barrister specializing in international commercial law with a particular emphasis on insurance law, shipping law, and international trade law. Today I will be providing you with an overview of Section C of the course on marine insurance law. Now, Section C is described as covering the terms of the insurance contract as well as issues of the risks or perils and causation. The particular topics which will be addressed within Section C are concerned with the operation of the marine insurance contract and most importantly the issue of coverage. Before I discuss the particular topics which are going to be discussed, it's important to understand how each of the chapters in Section C are structured. Now, each chapter will begin with a reference to the relevant academic texts and commentary, and in addition a reference to the important cases. And indeed the most important cases are identified in your guide with an asterisk. Now, once you've reviewed the relevant material, the chapter will then discuss the relevant principles and legal doctrines which can be retrieved from a consideration of the authorities. And the chapter will close with a summary of what you should have learnt from your review of the chapter, and in order to test your understanding of the principles set out in the chapter, there will be a number of activities and feedback. So we move on to the topics covered by Section C. And as I say, Section C is really concerned with the operation of the marine insurance contract itself. The topics which we'll consider, firstly, are the question of premium. Secondly, the important terms and how you classify the terms of the insurance contract. Thirdly, the question of coverage. And fourthly, the duty to sue and labour, or the duty to mitigate. There are a number of other topics which are dealt with in Section C, but these are the principal ones. Now, as far as premium is concerned, that's quite easy, because it's really the monetary consideration which is provided by the assured to the insurer in exchange for the insurer's promise to provide an indemnity against any marine losses which are sustained by the assured. And it's an important topic because it's the assured's half of the contract, but by comparison it's a self-contained and discrete topic, and the bulk of this chapter will really be concerned with the insurer's obligations to indemnify. Then we move on to consider the notion of warranties and conditions precedent and other terms which may be found in the insurance contract. Now, it's important to be able to identify and classify the terms of the insurance contract, and you will find that some means of classification are peculiar to the law of insurance and marine insurance in particular, and do not find their mirror in the ordinary law of contract. One only needs to consider the law of warranties. A warranty in a marine insurance contract signifies a very important promise made by the assured to the insurer, and its breach will have very substantial and potentially harsh consequences for the assured. By comparison or contrast, the notion of a warranty in ordinary contract law means an unimportant promissory provision of the relevant contract. But as far as warranties are concerned in insurance law, they are important. But there are other provisions we'll also consider as part of evaluating the nature and terms of the insurance contract itself. Now, the next topic which will be explored is that of coverage, and this covers a number of points. In particular, it deals with the concept of a loss or damage being caused by a relevant peril or danger or risk. Now, this is the very essence of a marine insurance contract. This is the reason why the assured pays a premium, is to get this cover, so that if he does suffer a loss or damage, so long as that loss or damage is proximately caused, that's the test of causation, by an insured peril, whether it's fire, piracy, explosion, whatever it is, then he'll be entitled to an indemnity under the insurance contract. So this part of the course will consider the very nature of what loss and damages are concerned with, the very nature of a peril or danger, and more importantly then move on to consider what perils or dangers are insured against, which will allow the assured to make a recovery in the event of a loss, and what insureds or what perils or risks are excluded, so that if the loss or damage is caused by the excluded perils, there will be no cover at all. And this is, as I say, the most important aspect of a marine insurance contract. Now, the next topic which is to be considered as part of Section C is the duty of mitigation. Now, the language used as part of marine insurance law is not duty of mitigation, but the duty to sue and labour. It's an old term, and it's a term which still continues. And basically this really concerns the assured's duty to ensure that once an insured peril operates, he will take reasonable steps to ensure that any loss sustained will either be averted or be minimised. And there are various legal consequences flowing from this duty. One is whether or not the assured is entitled to reimbursement of expenses incurred as part of this mitigation process. And the second is what the consequences of failing to observe this duty of mitigation on the part of the assured might be. The duty to sue and labour is a critical part of the operation of the marine insurance contract, and indeed, as we'll see, it's closely related to the notion of causation. Now, Section C, as I say, is concerned with the operation of the marine insurance contract. It's very important. There are many, many important aspects of this particular section, but a full understanding of the section is actually an integral part of understanding marine insurance law itself. And whilst it's important, it's also very interesting, and one can see the wide variety of cases which arise factually in relation to any particular insurance dispute. I hope you will enjoy the course as you review this section, and I hope also that it is of benefit to you in the future.